Hi, welcome back, first grade. This is Miss Berry here for a reading skills lesson for Wednesday. So yesterday we started talking about nonfiction text features. Today we're going to continue talking about text features. So if you were not here yesterday and haven't yet seen the lesson about table of contents, glossary, types of print, photographs, and captions, make sure you go back and watch Tuesday's lesson before you see this one. If you've already seen those, you're ready for today. So welcome everybody. So as I said, we're going to continue talking about nonfiction text features. So today our target, and for the whole week it's going to stay the same. I can identify text features in a nonfiction book. So let's do that. Ready? Mirror with words. I can identify text features in a nonfiction book. Awesome. So today, before we get started with the little kid's first big book of birds that we were looking at, I want us to do a quick sort together to keep our mind fresh in thinking about what the difference is between fiction and nonfiction. So I'm going to share my screen and show you a sort that I made, and we're going to see if we can figure out what makes a book fiction and what makes it nonfiction. So when I'm looking at my sort here, I have two categories, fiction, nonfiction, and I have a whole bunch of books down at the bottom. We're going to choose a book and decide which side it belongs on. So this first one that I'm looking at is called How I Clean My Room, and it has a picture of a girl in her bedroom picking some things up. Now, the first thing I notice about this picture is that it's not something that someone drew. It's a real photograph. Somebody took this with a camera. Then when I think about the title, How I Clean My Room, that's something that we can do in real life that they're going to teach us how to do. So I know that this is nonfiction. It's not make-believe. It is real, and it's going to teach us how to clean our room. So this real photograph really helps me know that it wasn't make-believe, and the title. Let's take a look at this next one. Miss Moo goes to the beach. Now, if we look at the picture, Miss Moo is a cow, and she has all sorts of things with her for the beach. Do you think that this book is fiction, it's make-believe, or is it nonfiction and it's a true story? If you said fiction, you are right. Cows do not go to the beach, especially with bathtubs and pillows and clocks and bowling balls and all sorts of things on that picture. Great job. All right, here's another one. How I pack my lunch. Go ahead and think. Take a look at the picture. Think about what the title is. Is this a real story, being nonfiction, or is it make-believe, fiction? It's real. If you said nonfiction, you are correct. How about How I Care for My Pet? What are your thoughts? Yes, nonfiction. There is a real photograph that somebody took of this boy and his dog, and it's going to teach us about how to take care of animals. So it's real and true. How about Clifford Takes a Trip? Clifford Takes a Trip is fiction. This is a make-believe dog that goes on adventures. So we know that it's not a real story, which makes it fiction. How about See Me Play? Great. If you said fiction, you're right. See Me Play is also a make-believe story. Those are drawn pictures, they're not real photographs, and it's a bunch of animals doing some silly things together. Great job. Awesome. So we're ready to dive into more nonfiction now that you remember exactly what a nonfiction book looks like and what it does. So today we want to take a look at some more text features and see if we can decide what the author does and what the author uses in his book to help organize his information better so that we can understand it when we read it. So yesterday we talked about a couple important things. First, we said that there's a table of contents. The table of contents has the title for each chapter that's going to be in the book and the page numbers that we can find it. At the end of our book, we have a glossary, which gives us definitions of important words. So if there's some words that we're not sure the meaning of, we can go to the glossary. We also find bold print in our books, and bold words help us to find words that are keywords or important words that give us more information that we're going to need to know. In nonfiction books, we see photographs more. Photographs are real pictures taken with a camera. And we see captions that are underneath our photographs or somewhere on the photograph. And a caption gives us some more information about what's seen in the picture. Great. So as you can see, we have a few more things that we want to talk about today in our nonfiction book. So let's jump right into it. And I'm going to open up to page 16 and 17. So I saw some really interesting things on those pages. So here's page 16 and 17. And the first thing I noticed is on this page, we see a lot of the things we already talked about. I see photographs. I see captions, I see bold words, and I see colored words, and I see these bold words and these colored words. So all those things that we studied yesterday are still coming through in these pages, but I noticed something special about these bold words. These bold words are at the top of the page, and they kind of look like a title. So when we see the words at the top of the page like this, it tells us these words here tell us what all of this information is going to be about. So these pages are about bird watching. We call these special words a heading. They come at the top of the page and they tell you what the section is going to be about. It's called a heading. So that's our first thing on our anchor chart. And a heading tells the reader what they'll read about on those pages. So we know that we're going to read about bird watching. Let's record that before we start. The reader what they will read about. Great. Let's keep going. Now, I noticed something super cool on this page. Do you see this bird here? This bird has a whole bunch of lines coming off of it that are yellow. Each of those lines is pointing to a different part of the bird. When we see a picture that looks like this, we call it a diagram. A diagram tells us the different parts of something. So this diagram is telling me the parts of the bird, and it's pointing to each part. This part's the beak, this is the chin, this is the throat, this is the wing, that's the tail, the leg, the foot, the belly, the chest, the neck, and the head. So it's labeling each part of the bird. If I didn't know the name of something, I could look at this diagram. When we look at a diagram, each word that's on there is called a label. A label tells us the specific name of what we're looking at. So we might want to call this the nose, but if I look at the label, I know it's a beak. It gives me more information about that name. So two things that we just talked about are diagrams and labels. And those sometimes are found in nonfiction books. So let's add those to our anchor chart with our definition so we don't forget. A diagram was that picture of the bird that had the lines coming from it, and it's a drawing that explains or shows the parts of something. A drawing that shows the parts of something. And then the labels on the diagram are the words that tell the names of each part. Perfect. Now, my friends, we've been chugging through this book and looking at just different parts of it to see what we can find. I'm gonna flip ahead quite a few pages because I saw something really awesome kind of toward the back of the book that I want you to see. Because I want you to be able to see every single text feature that we can find in the nonfiction book, okay? So wait till you see this. I gotta go all the way to page 120. There's a lot of pages in this book. There you go. On page 120, what would you call this? Ooh, I hear some good things. Maybe the world. Great. So we call this a map. Can you say map? Great. A map shows places. This map shows places in the world that different birds live. So for instance, if we look on this map, we live in North America. So we could look right here for North America and it lists all the types of birds that also live in North America. Say I was going to go on a trip and visit somewhere else, like, let's go all the way over here to Australia. If I were going to visit Australia, I could read right here what kind of birds I might see. So this is a map. Sometimes nonfiction books have maps in them to give us more information. So it might tell us about where we can find something or where something travels. It's going to give us some more information about places. So let's add that to our anchor term. Maps. Maps show a reader where places are. Shows so readers where places are. Great. Now, this next one that I want to talk to you about is charts and graphs. And we've seen charts and graphs in math a lot. And we know that they help to organize some information in a more visual way for us to see. So I'm going to zoom you in a little bit closer so you can see my pictures. And actually, pull it right up to you. So in math, we might see charts and graphs that look like this, like we've drawn some bar graphs together and found data from there, or data in a chart like this, or like these. So sometimes we find these in our book. The nonfiction book that we're reading today don't have charts that look exactly like this, but they do have some more information on certain pages that we can find in a little like pop-out section. And I want to show you that because it's easy to skip over it. And we never ever want to skip it because we get more information. If we skip it, we're going to miss that and maybe we miss learning something new. So let me show you that. This book has these little charts that tell us more facts. Facts are more information, okay? So sometimes we might find a chart that looks like this. And it tells us the home, the food, the eggs, the chicks, and the size of a bird, of a specific bird, this one that we're studying on this page. So we want to write out charts and graphs on here because we might find those in some nonfiction books. Not in all, but in many, they can have a chart and a graph. And it is a way to organize information in a more visual way. Beautiful. Okay, one last thing before you go and finish your All About Nonfiction book. I want to show you some authors put this at the back of their book, and it is something called an index. And an index can be several pages long, and it looks like this. So if you look close, it goes in ABC order. We have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and the words are really tiny because they try to fit a lot of information on here. But on the index, it tells me really any topic in the whole book where I can find that information. So say I know in my head that I want to learn more about a specific bird, maybe a macaw, I can find macaw, M for macaw. I can look for the word macaw, and then it tells me the pages. And for macaws, it says it's on page 8 and 9. I'm going to try that. Let me turn back to page 8 and 9 and see if that's right. Page 8 and 9 has a blue and yellow macaw. So it will tell me where to find certain topics if I know I need to find it. So say I want to do research on a certain bird for my class and I want to tell them, my classmates, more about that bird, I can go to the index to see what page would I find that bird. And I can get there faster because this book is so big. Without an index, I could be flipping and flipping and flipping and looking for the macaw for so long. The index helps me get there in a snap. So I'm going to write on our index that it is a list of topics in ABC order that help us find a page. Beautiful. Whew. Great job, friends. So let's open that up so that we can see all of our text features there. So my friends, look at how many text features we've identified just the past couple days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 text features. Yesterday on Tuesday, you put 5 in your nonfiction book. Today, you're going to put the last 6 in there. So by the end of today, you're going to have an All About Me that has 11 text features in it. So just like yesterday, you have the rest of your pages left, and it looks like this. So you're going to go into your Google Classroom, pull up this assignment, and again, you have to sort the pictures to match the description. So this one is telling me it's a heading. I'd look through my pictures and say which one has a heading. Oh, this one's pointing to the heading. This one says index. I have to look for the indexes in ABC order. Which one has the ABCs? Oh, perfect, right there. And I'd move it. Now remember, there are more than one page on this. So you have to go to the second slide and the third slide. You see me over here on this side? I have to go 1, 2, 3, all of these, and move the pictures to match. Once all of your boxes, these right here, are filled in, you're done. You can exit out and make sure you submit it by pressing turn in. Turn in is the way that the teachers are going to be able to see your work, okay? So remember, this whole week you're working on identifying text features in a nonfiction book, okay? You guys can do this. I know that you'll be able to get through it, but if you have any trouble, you're welcome to watch this video again to remember what some of the things are. Go ahead and get started right away while the ideas are still fresh in your head. As always, I'm available to help you. So is Mr. Nieves. So please reach out to us. Have a great day, friends.